What is up, guys? I have a quick message and then I don't have a whole lot of time, but I want to share it with you guys really quickly. Let me make sure I'm on and good to go. Facebook Live is not being my friend today for some reason. In my groups, it was being funky. So I want to talk to you guys about fear. Fear is a word that everyone uses all of the time as an excuse for several things. And I think that most people don't recognize that it's an actual part of life. Okay, so I can't take 100% credit for part of this analogy comes from a book that I read, Big Magic, but obviously I've put my own spin on it because it's something that it's just reality. And again, it's a conversation that a lot of people bring up and they talk about fear and they use it as an excuse as to why they don't do things. But there's a whole lot more depth to it than we recognize. And so I want you to know that fear is an emotion. Okay. Fear is an emotion. It is a part of life. Is a part of like being a human being that will always be present. So just along with like momentum and excitement and high energy and happiness and determination and drive and, fear and then scarcity and like all of these things are emotions, okay? So imagine like you're starting a new journey, whether it's a new project or like a new relationship or you have something going on. You're starting this journey and you're getting in the car and you're going for like a road trip, right? How many times do we let fear drive? Often. We let fear drive a lot. So like say you're starting on a road trip down this new cool thing and then you get all freaked out and you get scared and you're like, but what if this happens and what if that happens and oh my God, and you let fear take control and you put fear in the driver's seat and you veer completely off course. So what ends up happening is that everything, you're wanting to go this direction, right? And you're like, okay, I'm going to go here. This is where we're going. And then you let fear get into the driver's seat and it takes you a whole other direction. So the question everybody comes to me with is, how do I get rid of fear? Okay, well, you don't, and that's your number one problem. You're never going to get rid of fear. You have to just acknowledge the fact that fear will always be a factor. It will always exist. You're human. We're human beings. Like it is an emotion. It is a part of our life, especially when we're trying new things. We're going into the unknown. We're opening doors. We're pulling down walls. We're maybe letting emotions out where we might get hurt. We might fall on our faces and we might stand in a place we've never been before. Fear will always be a factor. If you try to do anything outside of outside of anything, really, anything that you do, fear will always be a factor. So you have to determine that what ends up happening is that fear is just part of it. So instead of you saying, I need to get rid of it, how do I get rid of it, Jamie? I need to not have it be a factor. You need to realize that it's just something that you have to acknowledge will always be there. You get to make the decision on whether you let it drive or not, is basically what goes down. Like, do you choose to let fear drive you or do you choose not to? It's a choice. It's a conscious choice that you have to make every single day. Just like we talk about mindset being something that you have to flex and work on every single day. It's not something that it's just like your body. Like you don't just wake up and have muscles. Like you have to flex them and work them out every day. Same thing with your mindset and dealing with the things that come up for you. And it's a choice that you get to make. And again, it all comes down to choices. It comes down to deciding, but just acknowledging that fear will always be a part of it. But then just deciding and making the choice that it's not running the show. Like you can say, okay, cool. Like you're going to be in the car and I get that. And that's fine. But you're not driving and you're not navigating. Like, you're not telling me where to go. Like, you can be here. I'll even maybe let you speak up a time or two, but you're certainly not going to drive the bus. You're certainly not going to tell me which direction to go. And it takes courage. It takes awareness to create that. But I wanted to tell this story because it's something I think a lot of people struggle with because they think that fear is something they need to overcome or they need to get rid of. And that doesn't exist. Like you can't overcome or you can't get rid of fear. Like it doesn't go away. It's a part of who you are. And it's actually a really great part of who you are. It can be used as a driving factor. But basically just acknowledging the fact that like it will always be there, guys. And that's okay. It's scary, sure, but life is scary. Getting out of your comfort zone is scary, but your fear doesn't have to be what drives. And so the problem is a lot of people don't recognize it, that they let it drive. And how many times have you had something come up and it's uncomfortable, and so instead you make a million excuses as to why you're not going to do it, or you fill your time with a million other things, or you just avoid it altogether? Like, that's you letting fear drive. That's you just filling that and like pretending like it doesn't exist. You know, most people don't even recognize that that's happening to them, and it is. You know, or it keeps you, it holds you back from moving forward in things that you want to do, or taking chances that you want to take, you know. And so just acknowledging that it will always be a factor, but you get to choose whether you let it be in control or not, if you can step above it. And most of the time, the sad part is when you let fear drive and you let it hold you back, like, you're missing out on so many experiences, like so many experiences. Learn to exist with fear, but not let it stand in your way. Exactly. Don't let it, like, it will exist, but it doesn't get to drive. It doesn't get to stand in front of you. Elliot, no, I am not a clinical psychologist. I am not a registered or licensed psychologist, and I've never ever claimed to be. This is coaching lifestyle advice is what this is. Rob, I am smart. You're right. No, you're on point, Emily, for sure. It's just something, again, like, it comes up with a lot of people across the board, different areas of life, different scenarios, and I just wanted to talk about it, whether, no matter what it is that you're working on, whether it's new levels of success or new relationships, new this, new that, whatever, you know, a new path of business or a new job or whatever, fear will always be a factor. So please stop focusing your time and energy on how to get rid of fear, because you're not going to get rid of fear. It's there. It's an emotion. It's part of being a human being. Basically. So you just have to learn to have it be a part of it, and not let it drive and not let it stop you. So that's the biggest part. And again, that just takes courage. Absolutely. It takes courage. Yeah, Elliot, I don't know what you're saying, TJ or JT. Hi. So yeah, basically that is the biggest thing there in general. It's all a mindset game, you guys. Like, everything comes back down to mindset. Everything comes back down to being in control of the way that you react, the way that you're thinking, being intentional, being aware, reflecting as to why something makes you scared, or what part of it is fear, you know, acknowledging that and pointing it out. Like, I didn't do that because I'm scared, and that's okay. And it takes courage. Nobody wants to say that. Nobody wants to say, I'm stepping back, or I'm not moving forward because I'm scared. Or I'm moving forward and stepping forward in spite of being scared. Like, nobody wants to talk about that stuff. But trust me, it makes you a better human being, and it makes things a lot easier when you acknowledge it. So I just want to jump on really quick. I have to run. I got to eat before I have to go places today. But I just wanted to share that quick message with you guys. It's definitely a big thing. Remind yourself of it all the time. Remember that fear will always be there. You just get to choose not to let it drive, and it will help push you forward big time. Reminds me of Big Magic. Elizabeth Gilbert says, me and creativity are going on a journey, and fear is coming along, but it's not allowed. Yes, I absolutely acknowledged that actually earlier, Justine. That's exactly where part of that came from for me. Is a lot of that I said, you know, this is partially stuff that I learned, and it made me like triggered from Big Magic. Absolutely. It's so accurate, and nobody gets that. Like, she needs to like scream that from the mountaintops, because a lot of people need to hear it. So 100%. All right, guys, I got to go. Thank you for being here. You guys are amazing. Have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you soon.